Hey there everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for coming and clicking on this video. I really do appreciate it. So in this video, basically we're going to be talking a bit about Sylvanas, and in particular, her goals and motives leading into the Shadowlands. You see, I think that what we're being shown and what Sylvanas is being portrayed as is too shallow for who she really is as a character. And I think that moving into the Shadowlands, she's got a bigger plan for us all, and we have been shown a little bit of this in past expansions, and in particular Battle for Azeroth, on maybe why she's doing what she's doing. So in this video, we're going to explore a couple of topics around Sylvanas, and this might lighten or bring light, to what Sylvanas is really doing. What is her real big motive? I don't believe that she's just this mass-killing, maniacal character that just strives for power. I don't think that's the case. So guys, enjoy the video. I hope this all will make sense. Okay, so to explain or to understand Sylvanas in the present, we've really got to understand who Sylvanas was in the past. So let's have a quick look here. Now, Sylvanas rose to the ranks of Banshee Queen for Quel'Thalas and the Defender of Silvermoon, and of course, her people. And we see great qualities come out of Sylvanas while she was in this role. Qualities like loyalty, honor, and the willingness to lay down her life in defense of her people and her city, and of course, her country. So basically, Sylvanas defended Silvermoon and Quel'Thalas against the first Horde invasion. She was there to defend her people, to extract her people, and she was much willing to lay down her life in defense of this. That shows a lot of loyalty, that shows a lot of honor. Now, when the Scourge rocked up at Silvermoon, she was also there to push back the Scourge, she was also there to front off against Arthas, and she was willing to lay down her life again, and obviously she did. But you see great qualities out of Sylvanas in this era. Basically, she was very loyal to her people, she was very, very honorable, she was very... how do you put this? She was a great tactician. She was willing to set down traps and plans that would unfoil over time and thus lead to a victory. So she was not one of these people that would basically run headlong into a fight and then just blatantly just attack the enemy. She would lay out plans, and she's a great tactician, and this will play a part later on in this video. Okay, so moving on to her people. Her people are the Forsaken. Now, basically move forward all the way through the events of Wrath of the Lich King, when the Forsaken basically were just, undead moved into the Forsaken. But we need to understand who the Forsaken are to understand Sylvanas a little bit more. So the Forsaken are notably humans and elves and mixed races that have been infected by the Plague of Undeath that was brought about by Ner'zhul and then spread across the continents of Azeroth by Kel'Thuzad and his minions. So basically, they are technically undead and technically Scourge, but when the Lich King moved from Northrend and Kalimdor, Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor, and moved back to Northrend, the power that he had on the undead here was diminished, and therefore the more notably intelligent undead broke away from the Scourge. In this manner, Sylvanas gathered all these intelligent undead and basically brought them all together under one banner, notably the Forsaken. Now, this shows that Sylvanas is still thinking of her people. This shows that she is still loyal to her people, even though that some of these people may not be hers previous to the Plague of Undeath. It still shows that she is still showing loyalty, that her traits and her pillars that she has shown in the past are still there, basically. But moving on, the Forsaken are they're decaying. They're no longer part of the living, but they're not dead yet either. They're stuck in this middle realm where their bodies are falling apart, they're decaying, yet their spirit can't move on to the afterlife. So basically, we see that the Forsaken are also in pain. You can see that when they stand in the sun, their skin hurts. When they touch or grab hold of one another, they risk pulling off a finger or a limb, and that is always bad. So if you were a leader of the Forsaken, if you were in Sylvanas' position, and knowing that Sylvanas still has this loyalty to her people, would you not do the same as what Sylvanas has been trying to do and find a way to help her people, either bring them back further into the living or give them the peace of death. And I believe that is what Sylvanas has been trying to do for some time now. I believe that this is her overall arching motive here, is to help her people. You see, she has felt long striving vengeance to the Lich King and the Lich King's bosses and whatnot for doing what they have done in the past. And I would too. If this happened to my people, I would feel a really strong sense of vengeance and trying to get back at those who did wrong to my people. But you can see that Sylvanas is trying to work around, or find a workaround to helping her people. You see, her people can't reproduce. They can't procreate, essentially. And you can see in Cataclysm, she did find a means through necromancy to bring more soldiers into the Forsaken. And this was done by just raising the dead or the fallen dead on the battlefield. And it really didn't differentiate between her and the Lich King. So you can see that she is trying methods to try and help the Forsaken, to try and help her people. So I really don't think that moving forward into Shadowlands that she's just willing to give up all of this and become a power-hungry, maniacal leader. I don't think that's gonna happen at all. And this part, knowing about the Forsaken, really does help understand her moving into the Shadowlands. Okay, now we're moving on to the juicy bits of the video, the quotes that Sylvanas has said in the past. Now, this is very interesting because Sylvanas, when she speaks with conviction, but she also thinks about what she says as well. So we're going to have a look at a couple of quotes here, and in particular the quotes from cinematics, and I hope that giving you guys the evidence here will help you understand what Sylvanas is really talking about. Alliances forged and broken. We have paid the price for sharing this world, and we have forgotten what makes us strong. This is what Sylvanas said in the beginning of BFA. The very first sentences of BFA, Sylvanas lays this all on us. And what I believe Sylvanas is realistically talking about here is the Horde and the Alliance banding and bonding together to fight a common foe, and then breaking those bonds and fighting against each other time and time again. I mean, she says literally, alliances forged and broken. If you have a look at past expansions, whenever we face off against the end boss, the big bad evil of that expansion, you see that the Alliance and the Horde generally work together. We forge alliances. But straight therefore after, those alliances are broken. And I think that Sylvanas knows this, that when these alliances are broken, we are at our weakest. And she says this in the last part of the sentence when she says, we have forgotten what makes us strong. You see, what makes someone or something or a community strong is when they bind and bond together. Now, if you are broken, if you are not working together as one, then you are not very strong. What Sylvanas has probably noticed here is that at the beginning of BFA, the heightened tension between the Horde and the Alliance was at its highest. So if you were a Sylvanas and you wanted to bring the Horde and the Alliance together for an end goal here, you can't just sit the two leaders of the Horde and the Alliance down and say, let's talk it out, we will bind together. They're not going to do that. The actual tension between the Horde and the Alliance was so strong that she had to do something or find another way of bringing the Horde and the Alliance together for her plans later down the track. Now this is really done. There's a simple way of doing this. If you have two parties involved and you want them to work together, if they're at each other's necks and you want them to work together, you make yourself the outlier. If you make yourself the enemy of both parties and a strong enough enemy, generally the two parties will then start working together in a common goal. Now Sylvanas has done this by making herself seem the common outlier here. Now by doing this, she has forced the Alliance and the Horde to work together through Nazjatar and through Ny'alotha. And this has really strengthened the bond between the Horde and the Alliance. It has never been anywhere near as strong as it is now at the end of BFA. You see the Horde and the Alliance leaders working together very closely, and they realize that they need to work together very closely. So Sylvanas' plans here has worked. She has brought the Horde and the Alliance together. And this sentence at the beginning of BFA shows this. She says, "We have forgotten what makes us strong." She realizes that we need to work together, and she has gone about that through BFA. The Horde is nothing. You are all nothing. Listen to how Sylvanas says these words. She says the Horde is nothing. That's right, she says is, not are, not they. She says is. The Horde is nothing. She's not referring here to the people. She's referring to the Horde, the title, the banner that we place above ourselves. She also then goes on to say, "You are all nothing." So not only does she start by saying the Horde is nothing, by saying the title of Horde is nothing, she also then goes to say that everyone is nothing. That any Alliance banner that you're under, Alliance, Horde, any sort of, that means nothing. So you can see Sylvanas recognizes here that by saying that we are Horde, by saying that we are Alliance, we are separating ourselves, we are segregating ourselves and stopping ourselves from working together. You see a common trait here, do you see a common theme here? Sylvanas is trying to break down those bonds, the chains, the things that are separating all of us and trying to put us all together, essentially. So she also goes on to say this: "If you could see yourselves as I see you, toy soldiers in tin plates, beasts who howl for honor." In this sentence here, you can see that she is directly attacking the Horde and the Alliance. Tin soldiers in plate, obviously, the Alliance. Beasts who howl for honor, the Horde. She basically says here that she sees us in a different light. She does not see us as we see ourselves, the Alliance, the Horde. She sees us as one, and I think that this is another sort of nail in the coffin, suggesting that from the beginning of BFA, if not even further back, that she has been trying to get the Horde and the Alliance to work together. Now, this is where it all sort of breaks down. Why is she bringing us all together? And that we still don't truly know, but in a long sense, you can see that throughout BFA, she has been trying to break down the binds of Horde, Alliance, this faction, that faction, and she's been trying to get everyone to realize and recognize that we need to work together for a common goal. Now, this common goal that she is referring to could simply be her own motive in common goal. It could simply be a greater motive. She could probably recognize here that there is a need if say the jailer is trying to do something and she needs to side with that jailer. I don't really know just yet. But long story short is, I do absolutely believe that Sylvanas is breaking down barriers here for us to work together. Now, in conclusion, my opinion on what Sylvanas is doing. If you read into Sylvanas in the past, in previous expansions, and what she's been doing in Battle for Azeroth and moving on to Shadowlands, I believe that she is trying to first and foremost help her people. Her people being the Forsaken, or even in general, the people on Azeroth. I believe that she is trying to stop this. I believe that she is trying to, well, obviously, free us, basically. And I believe that she is trying to do this in such a way that she is going to become the sacrifice. I believe that this is the way it's going to go. Now, is Sylvanas going to become this story where she's going to get a redemption arc? Probably not. I don't think that they're going to give her a full redemption arc. Are we going to see Sylvanas in a different light or a different perspective moving into Shadowlands? Yes, I absolutely do think so. Now, her siding with the jailer, moving into Shadowlands, initially we're all thinking that this is bad. We think that she's just doing it for power, that she's just wanting to kill people. You gotta understand this, guys. Sylvanas is an extremely powerful character before she even started, gaining the jailer's powers. She could stand toe-to-toe with any other strong leader or person in Azeroth quite easily, with the exception of only a few. Why would she want to gain even more power? She's not just this maniacal person. She is happily where she is at any stage of her life and any stage of World of Warcraft. I don't believe that she is here just wholly and solely doing all this just to gain power. I don't think that this is the case. I personally believe that she is doing this to save her people. By siding with the jailer and breaking the binds and the cycle of life and death, I think is going to change the Forsaken in such a way that it's going to save them from this pain, this suffering that they've gone through, and therefore ending the vengeance that she's been seeing and sorting after all the way back since Lich King. So there is more to this than what we believe, and I believe that Sylvanas, being a 4-dimensional chess player, really is going to unfold. It's going to unfold in Shadowlands, and we're going to find out. Now, I don't believe she's going to get a redemption arc, but I do believe that we're going to see her in a different perspective, and we might even feel a little bit of compassion for Sylvanas and go, oh, we understand now, okay, and we sort of go about our business. I don't think that she's just going to be this tyrant. Let me know, guys. Let me know how you guys feel. Do you guys think the same way? Do you guys think differently? Leave a comment in the comment section. I would love to read and understand this. But guys and girls, I hope this video has made a little bit of sense. I've spent a little while trying to make this video and understand a few things. Now, also, there is going to be more Sylvanas videos coming out in the near future, so make sure you subscribe if you want to listen and watch those videos. But until next time, everyone, thank you all so very much. Go have a great day.